Lanzamiento, aquí viene un batazo de Mundito entre right center field, la bola pica, se extiende, viene anotando Stott, empata el juego, también manda para la bola Turner anota y los Phillies se van arriba. Se prepara, Mundito en segunda, el lanzamiento, batazo profundo para el center field, la bola se va, Schwarber Bob, ¡campanazo! Aquí viene el lanzamiento, swing y lo ponchó. Ponche de Alvarado, amigos.
Oh, hello everyone and welcome to Phillies Weekly. It's a pleasure to be here with you. Jeff, he's on the way from the stadium. What can I tell you guys? But he'll be here momentarily. But I'm accompanied today by some very, very special guests today. Mike McGarry from Atlantic City, having some fun down there with the press. He was at the stadium today. He'll give us the latest and greatest. And now that all our issues around the hitting around this team are solved, now we can go and relax and wait for the postseason. How you doing, Mike? Great to see you, man.
Doing well. Thanks for having me. And yes, the Phillies offense actually showed up this weekend and scored some runs and played some entertaining baseball. Sometimes it's nice to watch a 9-5 game.
That's awesome. Glad to have you here. Welcome, of course. Look, John Foley. And John Foley's in a very, very special place. I was supposed to be there today, but unfortunately I had to come down to Florida. So I'm down in Florida. But John is at Foley, the Philly store. There's the man.
Here we are, Foley's right here on South Street. It's been a lot of fun.
That's awesome, man. We'll talk more about the store. I actually made a purchase today. How about that? We'll talk about that in a minute. So I walk the talk. How about that, John? And then on the other hand, well, what can I tell you? Phil Stelgate, man, the guy knows it all. I mean, if you're looking for a stat, this is the guy that knows them all. So, hey, Tyler, great to see you here, man. Are you surprised that Mattingly's 26-11 and that the Phillies have won 9 of the last 12 games? So what's going on?
Yeah, thanks for having me, Oscar. I appreciate it. Just happy to see them finally get the bats together. And, it's pretty wild. The starting pitching wasn't really there this series, but, they batted their way out of it. And for a while, you didn't think that was going to happen. So, just super impressed in a lot of different areas. And hopefully they can keep the momentum going into Toronto.
Yeah, well, we ended up June or May in a very, very positive note, and we're 5-1 this week. I mean, this team is definitely playing significantly better. I mean, we're 5 games above 500. Mike, give us your assessment on where you see this team. I mean, some of the dynamics around the team, and just give us your overall perspective of how you see it.
I think heading in the right direction, maybe cautiously optimistic at this point. It would be great if they could just pitch and hit on the same day. Right now, it seems you either get great pitching and no hitting, or you get hitting and no pitching. But I was encouraged by the offense this weekend. You can't live beating teams 2-1 or 1-0. That just for a team's nerves, I think that's too much. So I was cautiously optimistic after seeing the offense, and I think a good stat, Oscar, is the Phillies are now 3-12 when their starter gives up more than 5 runs in a game, and 2 of those wins were this weekend, 1 Friday night and 1 today. So you see Bohm starting to come to life a little bit. You see Marsh having his great season. You see, Trey Turner actually had a double today in that first inning. So you see some positive signs there. So cautiously optimistic as we go forward.
Yeah, this team, I mean, it's a puzzle. I mean, it's a puzzle because when one thing goes great, then the other one doesn't. So it's like, I mean, you don't know, as you said. I mean, sometimes we have great pitching. I mean, we know what we're gonna get when Sanchez is on the mound and when Wheeler is on the mound. But Luzardo, I mean, what version of Luzardo are we getting? I mean, we know what he's capable of doing. I mean, nobody questioned that. But his command, I mean, I saw him throwing significantly more sinkers the other day than he usually does. I don't know if it is a feel thing. I mean, during the day that he didn't feel his sweeper was strong, but I mean, he allowed a number of runs. So we'll share that momentarily. But Tyler, from your standpoint, I mean, this was interesting, right? The Padres series, we don't hit. The White Sox series, we fall behind and we hit. I mean, explain to me what version of the Phillies you want to see and how you see it.
Well, I would love to see the offense continue the way it's going and the pitching from the previous series to carry over in the future. But, I think the White Sox, they have a pretty scrappy group. And, of course, they didn't face Sanchez or Wheeler. Nola definitely had some command issues. Painter, he was all over the place. And Luzardo, I'm not really sure what to make with him because it's either really good or pretty mediocre with him. So I think the combination of the White Sox, haven't seen a lot of those guys before, a lot of scrappy hitters. I think that you can see the positives when it comes to the pitching, but it takes more time. It's still early. There's a lot of positives and some negatives to take from it. So
yeah. So I mean, John, when you see the weekend, right? I mean, they score what 9? They scored on Friday. They come back from behind and score 8 runs, and today they scored 9 runs. We haven't seen that in a while. By the way, the 8 runs on Friday was the first time that they scored more than 4 runs in 13 games. I mean, 13 games in a row, they did not score more than 4 runs. So suddenly Friday, they go, they start losing the game 2-0, and then they score 5 runs in the second inning, and then they were able to score a total of 8 runs. And then today, the bats were unreal. I mean, Alec Bohm and March is having the season of his life right now. It's incredible. So what do you take of this? Is it my big question is that the issue is it the pitching was that bad on the White Sox that our bats began to wake up that way and that we cannot hit great pitching? I mean, what's your take? What's your take on how you saw the weekend?
Hey, my take is it's hitting season, and the bats are waking up right around when you would expect them to wake up, first week in June. Like Mike said, it's tough to win all these 2-1, 3-2 games, but they have been doing it. So if now the bats wake up also, then you've got a really good team. So maybe that's where they're trending. You feel very good. It's a bizarre team because you feel very confident when Sanchez or Wheeler is on the mound. Mm-hmm. You feel really pessimistic when Nola or Painter's on the mound, and maybe Luzardo's the key to the whole rotation because if he can side with the 2 aces there, then you've got something really formidable. But in terms of hitting, they don't need to do that much. The pitching is good. All you need is a little more from everybody else in the lineup besides Marsh and Schwarber and Harper, I suppose. And maybe it's Garcia. He's waking up a little bit, and we'll see. But I think overall, we're back to where we were at the beginning of the season with this club, right? Mm-hmm. Where we feel really good about starting pitching, most of them. We feel okay about the bullpen, and the lineup is just a question mark.
It's a puzzle. Mike, you were there today. Aaron Nola. So the previous 2 starts against San Diego Padres, right? We know that San Diego Padres is not a good hitting team, and they're even below the Phillies in terms of hitting and scoring runs per game. Then I'm seeing he had 10 whiffs today. In the previous start, I probably have this here so we could talk from it. Let me see here. This was this week, the Phillies pitching this week. So Nola pitches last week against the Padres. He does a tremendous job. He pitches on Monday or Tuesday, and then he goes 5 innings, 4 hits, no base on balls, which is critically important on Nola. And then 8 strikeouts, 15 whiffs, and you say, wow, the knuckle curve is working. 68% of his pitches, the first pitches were strikes. Look, everything looks rosy. And then you go today, and he cannot last, he lasted just over 4 innings, 4 and 1/3 with 6 hits. The most worrisome part, beyond the 5 runs, which we know are worrisome, 4 base on balls and only 4 strikeouts, and he has 10 whiffs, even though 70% of the pitches, the first pitches were strikes to hitters. So I don't know. What do you make of Nola? We know his stuff is not the same. and that he's using more. He's in a knuckle curve. But what's your take on it?
Yeah, it's not the Aaron Nola of a couple of years ago. I thought today the White Sox actually had a good approach against them. They have a lot of young hitters, a lot of pesky hitters. They didn't give in on at-bats. They fouled off a lot of pitches, and they made Aaron Nola work. I think he threw 98 pitches to get to where he was when he left with, I think, 4 1/3 or 4 2/3 innings. I will say this. It wasn't the greatest outing, but I think we need to adjust our sights a little bit. Aaron Nola right now is no longer a number 1, a number 2, a number 3 starter. He's a number 4 or a number 5 guy. And if you say to me, my number 5 starter and my number 4 starter, their main job is to keep me in the game. And basically he did that. I mean, he left with them down 5-4, and then they were able to hit their way to a victory. And I think that's just what you got to look for from Aaron Nola now. You just got to look for him to take the mound and keep the Phillies in the game and give them a chance to win. And every once in a while, hope he can give you that sparkling start that kind of reminds you of the Aaron Nolas of the past. But right now, I really have minimal expectations, and my expectation for him is just to keep him in the game, and that's what he did today.
Oof. I mean, the version of Luzardo, I mean, five runs in 6 innings. I mean, 9 whiffs. I mean, he didn't have his staff on Friday. I mean, in this series. I mean, it's worrisome. Go ahead, Mike.
Yeah, I think Luzardo, you're right. And what worries me about Luzardo is that sometimes it can go inning to inning. Like, he can look great for 2 innings, and I'm thinking this guy's got a chance. This guy looks like he's got no-hit stuff, and then all of a sudden it falls apart in the 3rd inning. So I think that's one of the factors that you're going to look to in determining just what kind of season the Phillies have. Is Luzardo going to be closer to Christopher Sanchez and Zach Wheeler, or is he going to be closer to Aaron Painter and Aaron Nola in that 3rd spot? And for the Phillies' sake, if they're going to do what they hope to do, he's got to be closer to Wheeler and Sanchez than Nola and Painter.
What's your take, guys, on Luzardo, and we'll talk Painter in a minute. What's your take on him?
I think, Luzardo, I think some of those starts early in the season where the results weren't there, but like the advanced metrics would tell you that he was unlucky, that he actually pitched well, he was going to swing and miss, but, gave up a couple home runs. That wasn't the case with this last start. Now, I think long-term, I think Luzardo is going to be okay. He's just too talented to keep giving up the runs that he's giving up. Maybe that's too optimistic.
He proved something. He proved something to me in the postseason. I mean, what he did those 2 games in the postseason, he showed me that he has. Because a lot of times you don't necessarily you could have great stuff, but don't show it in the big moments. In the big moments, this guy showed it, and I think that's why they gave him the extension. Go ahead, Tyler.
Yeah, I think John brings up a good point. The advanced metrics were showing in the past that he was getting unlucky. He'd have some of those big innings spiral out of control. But this last start, it just seemed like a bad start. It's very hit or miss with him, but I still think that he has it in him. As you mentioned, Oscar, I mean, he was fantastic in the Dodgers series, in the NLDS last year. He has it in him. He just has to show it. But I really chalk this last start up as just having a bad start in general.
Let's have a conversation about Painter, because I think this is a very sensitive topic. I know a lot of people, the easy decision is, look, find somebody else to replace him. Look, I remember when I grew up. I grew up in South America, but I lived most of my late teens or middle teens. I don't know how you would say, but the middle teens in Atlanta, and I lived the era of Glavine, Maddox, Smoltz. I remember when Glavine came in, he was awful. He was not really good. And people were patient enough with him. Here we go. I got a surprise for you guys. Take a look at this.
Hey,
boys. Surprise, surprise. I mean, surprise. Look what the world gives you. Jeff, how you doing, man? Welcome.
Good. Just got a nice cheesesteak from the Collegeville Bakery.
I knew it. I knew he had to stop somewhere. I knew it. The temptation was too big, huh?
It was too big, yeah. Normally I'd stop at Foley's because I heard Aaron Bracey was there today.
He sure was. Aaron was here signing copies of his latest book on the St. Joe's team with Jameer Nelson. It was a really fun time. So you should have actually.
Yeah, I should have. Like, I'll tell you what, I might have beat traffic that way.
Look at that, man. Look at that. Guys, let's spend a few minutes to talk about Painter. Look, let's be clear. He hasn't been good. He's 1-7, over 6 ERA. Look, the guy is very, very talented. You can clearly see this guy has big-time talent with him. It takes time. It takes time. I think the Phillies made a decision in the beginning of the year that they were going to bring him in and give him a shot to have that 5th spot or the 4th or the 5th spot, according to how you would see it based on how Nola was pitching in the beginning. He had the best outing were the first few outings were really good. The last few outings have not been good at all. They were a point in the middle where he pitched for 5 innings against, I think, the Red Sox, that he pitched 5 innings and they took him out. He allowed maybe a run or so. I mean, he did good. He did good. But it's been inconsistent, like Crawford has been inconsistent, and that's part of what you give the opportunity to a rookie. Jeff, I was talking about that I grew up in my teens looking at Glavine with the Braves and looking at Maddox. Maddox is a different story, but looking at Smoltz when he grew up, when he came up with the Braves, and particularly Glavine, he struggled in the very beginning and is part of the process of learning how to become an effective pitcher. I don't think he's utilizing all the tools that he has, that size that he has. When you look at Christopher Sanchez pitching, when you look at Zach Wheeler pitching, the use of a 6'6" frame in terms of his extension and getting closer to the plate, it might have to do with adjustments to mechanics. It might be a number of things. Look, that fastball needs to be elite, and that's how he came up in the system. He was picked. He was drafted because of his fastball. He had the Tommy Young. He came back. It's been two plus years since that happened, but he's going through the growing pains of pitching right now as a major leaguer. Give me your overall thoughts. Let's go one by one and give me your overall thoughts on Painter right now and how you see the evolution and what should the Phillies do?
Well, I'll tell you what, Oscar. I don't think he's going anywhere. I don't think he's going out of the rotation. They just don't have any options, and Mike and I can go deep into that for hours and hours of how they don't have anybody. But look, I agree with you with the fastball. It needs to be better. He needs to have more movement. He's just not getting enough break on it. He's not getting enough spin. And I think it's hurting him. I don't know if he's got to change his delivery to do that. Maybe how he releases. We all saw the pitching ninja video last week between him and what was it? Yamamoto? Was it Yamamoto or Sasaki? I couldn't remember.
Yamamoto.
Yeah, but I mean, look at the frame, and it was pretty much the same arm release. I'm like, that's a problem for me. And look, I still have high hopes for the kid. He's got a really good head on his shoulders. And I thought what Don Mattingly said today was excellent. Like, this is the big leagues. Figure it out. Like, this is the top 1% of everybody that plays baseball. So they just don't have any other options. It's him. It's Aaron Nola. They're not taking these guys out of the rotation. This is what.
And you see the talent, guys. Let's be very clear. This guy is extremely, extremely talented. You can see it.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, he's talented, and as a rookie, you want to give the rookie some grace, right? Like Andrew Painter with a 5-something ERA doesn't feel the same as Aaron Nola with a 5-something ERA. At the same time, I think the concern is that the Phillies, you talk about them giving him a shot. It was sort of like they didn't really give him a shot. They just anointed him as their as a back end starter. He struggled in the minors last year, has never really gotten back to that point of dominance since, I don't know, there was an Arizona Fall League where he looked really good a couple of years ago. But, it didn't feel like he earned his way back. It felt like the Phillies didn't have a lot of options. They were maybe getting a little impatient with Painter, who had originally been scheduled to come up a few years ago before the injury. And they just sort of put him out there. And there's no plan B. As Jeff said, Andrew Painter is going to be there. Aaron Nola is going to be there. There's no backup plan here.
Yeah, you want Rangel here instead of giving another start to Painter. Look, I think there's just one thing, and I'll let both Mike and Tyler give their thoughts. As long as his confidence doesn't go away and it is impacting his confidence, this guy needs to continue pitching every day. I mean, every 5th day. Go ahead, Mike. Give us your thoughts on Painter.
Yeah, I would agree with that. I think if you're going to commit to the rookie in the starting rotation, right or wrong, I agree. He did not have a great AAA season last year, but he's a high draft pick, and they really don't have a lot of pitching depth. So you're looking for him to be your number 4, number 5 starter. And just like, if you're going to put a rookie in the lineup or in the rotation, you kind of owe it to that rookie to give them some time to kind of sort of find their sea legs and figure it out. Same sort of situation with Justin Crawford in center field. So obviously Painter has not been great. Don Mattingly today said he did like the way he competed after getting kind of shelled in the first inning on Saturday. He was able to hang around, throw 4+ innings to help out their bullpen, where other guys might have said, okay, today's not my day. I'm going to get out of here in the first or second inning. So he did show a little competitive streak there that I kind of like. But Don Mattingly also said today, as Jeff said, it is the big leagues and you have to perform. So it isn't like, Andrew Painter's not a Supreme Court justice. He's not in the Phillies rotation for life. But I don't think we're at the point yet where, you're going to pull him from the rotation. I think he's going to get I would see him in that rotation till at least the All-Star break, and then maybe you reassess the situation and see where you go from there, maybe heading into the trade deadline. But he's going to get, at least a couple of more starts to sort of prove himself. And again, I go back to the Aaron Nola thing. It's what do you want to see from Andrew Painter? It would be great if he was as good as Sanchez and Wheeler, but we're really just looking for a guy to keep the team in the game. And he didn't do that on Saturday. That was the problem.
Here are the numbers, guys. I mean, there is no sugarcoating here. I mean, Sanchez and Wheeler are in another atmosphere, another planet. I mean, these guys are elite. 7-2, 5-1, 147 ERA, 231. Then comes Luzardo, which is kind of more of the reality of baseball today. 4.56 ERA, 4-4. Inconsistent is probably the word that I use. 73 innings, 80 strikeouts. I like that he's not giving so many base on balls. I mean, I would like him, but it's okay. At 21, it's an interesting percentage there. But then Nola, look, what happened with Nola today? I mean, Jeff, what are your thoughts on Nola today?
Yeah, you know what, Mike? I think he's been using an overabundance of the knuckle curve. And it's worked the last couple starts. But today I felt like the White Sox were sitting on. He didn't have the command. He had 4 walks. Mike and I were sitting next to each other today. Nola just did not look. He looked like he normally does since at least the last 2 years. It's young command of the fastball, too much knuckle curve. I didn't look at Savant yet. Maybe Tyler did. Tyler, I did.
I mean,
what was the percentage?
I mean, I'm pulling it up. Just give me a second. Yeah. It's coming. There you go. I mean, he had he had 10 whiffs, 70% of his pitches to the batters. I mean, were strikes, the first pitch. So,
and I agree with Mangley. I think he battled. I think he did what he could for those 98 pitches he threw in 4 2/3 innings, and the line probably doesn't look as bad if Tim Mesa doesn't give up the base hit with the runners on. But look, it is what it is. Aaron Nola just failed to get out of the 5th inning again.
Yeah, but you cannot allow 4 base on balls in 4 and a third innings.
No, you can't, and he'll even admit that.
Yeah, I mean that's kind of the reality. Why don't we, Tyler? Anything else from your end before we move to kind of the overall? Go ahead.
So going back to Painter, I saw the 11 home runs he's given up this year. 8 of them were on the fastball. I think the fastball is the biggest issue. You saw it yesterday when he was throwing the fastball. It was either way out of the zone or right in the middle of the plate. And I feel like his breaking pitches are actually in a pretty good spot. But if he has to rely on those breaking pitches too much, then he struggles getting outs. He struggles getting the swing and miss. So I think the fastball is the big key for him. And, some starts he does have it. But right now I agree with what they're doing, keeping him up. If he had like 4 really bad starts in a row, maybe you send him down to, try to keep his confidence somewhat in check and try to, rebuild that in AAA. But for now, there's not really any great options. And you might as well let him try to keep trying to figure it out in the majors, since that's where they plan to have him.
Yeah.
And then when it comes to Nola, what was that?
And this talk of like, oh, they should do a bullpen game. Like that's crazy talk. Why would you do that?
No, you're just killing your bullpen. There's no point. I mean, yesterday I wanted them to pull him out just because I felt like after that third inning, he just, I don't know. I didn't feel like he was in the best state to continue, but he kept it in there for a little bit. But you
was
can't
with
be having a bullpen game every game, and
he was with. I was too far away. It looked like he was with Caleb Cotham for a long period of time when the bullpen guys were working out and they were doing their on-field stuff and going to the bullpen. I thought it was Cotham. I couldn't get a good view of it, but I mean, he was talking to a couple of the coaches for a while. So.
Yeah. Look, it's I'm looking here at the numbers. 390. The hitters are hitting 390 against his four-seamer. They're hitting 355 against his sinker, and then the rest of the stuff is, I mean, the slider 318. I mean, 318 is slider. I love his curve. When he throws the curve, I really like that pitch. He's 182 against the curve. The sweeper 176. He just doesn't throw his curveball enough. So I'm not sure why, but he doesn't throw it enough. So the split fingers at 211, they hit 211 against him. So look, it's work in progress, guys, and the guy will come out and figure it out at some point. The arm talent is absolutely elite. I go back again, and I said this a number of times. If I were him, I said next to Zach Wheeler and be on the sitting next to him, and I would go over my game with Zach Wheeler and saying, what did I do correctly? What I didn't do right? What is that I need to start doing that I'm not doing right now? I would ask those three questions every time. That's what I do in consulting. What's working? What's not working? What do you need to do that you're not doing? If he does that after every start, asking Wheeler and sitting down with Ramuto and figuring it out, this guy's going to be a much, much better version of himself. Because, look, when Wheeler doesn't have certain pitch, he finds a way around it. And he needs to learn and grow as a pitcher. So, look, hopefully he can turn things around. Let's put a few questions before kind of we continue, or a few comments here. Let's see here. The fifth best record in the National League. Look at that, huh? I love that. A question here. Hopefully Turner keeps it up, and maybe he can bat lead off again. Hey, he got 2 hits today. I wouldn't complain about that.
Yeah, he's been banged back. What is it with this team and like guys hitting well in the 2-hole? If it's not Schwarber, it's Turner.
Yeah. But one thing I would say about Turner, though, and he just continues to be perplexing to me, because he comes up today in that first inning and he hits a double. And then his next 2 at-bats were just horrendous. And then he hits the ball hard to center field. So I just like to see some more consistency out of Trey Turner. He hits that double today. I'm saying, okay, Turner's going to have a 2-for-4, 3-for-4 day. And his next at-bats, he's swinging at pitches in the opposite batter's box. So I just think that would go a long way towards helping the offense if they could get a more consistent Trey Turner. Get the Trey Turner of the first inning, not the Trey Turner who came up the next 2 times.
So Darwin says here, for the first time in 21 days, we won by more than 3 runs. Definitely we have the starting pitching and the relief pitching. By the way, relief pitching, I've been pitching better than the starting pitcher over the last week and a half. So just
the bullpen had like a 1.20 ERA like during this.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
We just need at least 3 runs. I think we need more than 3 runs, at least 4. I mean, and I'll show you that momentarily.
It was very relieving to see the offense carry the starting pitching this weekend.
Yeah, I think part of Jeff, and I'll show you this to start, and then we go into the slide so we can move it to. The pitching staff of the White Sox is 20th in baseball. Starting pitching 17. And relief pitching 20th. So we're hitting. I want to see them hitting top tier teams. But hey, you have. You always tell me you cannot move the pole. You have who you have in front of you.
Can't move the goal. And guess what, Oscar? I don't think they're going to hit Trey Savage and Jacob Mizorowski this week. So there you go. It's
the reality. It's going to be interesting, and that's the beauty of it, right? That's what baseball is all about. So let me go a couple of slides here. So here is kind of the summary of where the team is. So we're at 35 and 35 games, about 500. We're now, everything looks rosy. 19 and 17 at home, 16 and 13 on the road. With Mattingly 26 and 11. I put the Mattingly line there. I added that, by the way. We're 6 and 7 against the National League East. In a week, after this week, we're going to start facing both the Marlins and the Mets. So it's going to get interesting within our own division. And then we're 18 and 19 against 500 teams. That has significantly improved. We were like 11 and 17. Now we're 18 and 19. And in extra innings, we're 4 and 3. And we are the best one-run team in baseball at 14 and 5. The issue with left-handed pitching continues, but we won. I don't know how you want to call the lefty today, but we won two out of the 3 games. We beat a lefty.
They had a lefty opener in Tyler Gilbert, and they did score off him. It is what he was there to get the top guys in the lineup out, and he did give up a run. And he did, but then they took advantage of it. So good for them.
So, I love the slide though, Oscar, because all this green. It really shows you. It's important to keep in mind where we were pre-Mattingly, right? Where they were playing like the worst team in baseball. It looked like it might just be a lost season, and now here they are, 26 and 11 under Mattingly, and really, they've stabilized. They're back. They're in a reasonable position, and they did it really quickly, and that's good for all the things we're concerned about. Nola, Painter, the consistency of the offense. Those were question marks coming in, and this is sort of who they are.
That's who they are. I mean, that's a reality, and you play who's in front of you, and you try to beat him. And the great thing is we're going to have our best pitching going against Toronto, which is going to be important. Milwaukee's going to be that Milwaukee series. That team knows how to play baseball, and it's. For some reason, those guys, they just have a magic behind them. But
that's your team, Oscar. You love the way the Milwaukee.
I love
top to bottom. Yeah,
two teams in baseball. I don't want to mention the Rays because the Rays are hot right now, but the Cleveland Guardians and the Milwaukee Brewers, those teams know how to play baseball and how to win games. They're scrappy. They find a way. They don't have all the talent in the world, but they just find a way to win. I mean,
they got some talent in that starting pitching staff. I'll tell you what.
They do.
They're really good pitching.
Gavin Williams, that guy Messick, they beat us, right? Cleveland came here and, to Philly, and they beat us. That's kind of the reality of it. And that's the last series we lost. That's kind of where we stand.
But by the way, Oscar, if the Phillies want to give Christopher Sanchez the Cy Young Award, they can hit Jacob Mizorowski on Friday.
Oh, look at that. And he's going against Painter. And he's going against Painter. Come on, Painter, let's do it, man.
What if Painter out pitches him? Does like X break again?
Hey, Sanchez going to invite him to lunch.
When
I can guarantee you that.
Paul Skeens.
Yeah. Oh, that was something. You know what? That wasn't even the highlight of that day. Jose Alvarado had the suspension, and Matt Strom decided to go off on X that day. That like Mick Abel outdoing Paul Skeens was like the third most important thing that happened that day.
Look, the beauty of this, May 18 and 10. Last year we were 19 and 9. This year in June. Last year, remember, we played in June and July 500 baseball. 14 and 13 and 11 and 12. We're up to a 5-1 start, and our hitters, you'll see it in a minute how we're hitting right now in the first 6 days of June. So we're like elite right now. The hitting looks better than the pitching after the first 5 days of our 6 games in June. Look, we continue. We were like in the 30s in runs differential. Now we're minus 19. To me, this is very telling, right? Take a look how our pitching since week 6 to week 10, how our pitching was basically carrying this team on a consistent basis. We started hitting well against San Francisco and Miami, the Athletics and Colorado, and Boston and Pittsburgh. We hit really well, and we were able to get 5-1, 5-2, and 2-1. The series when we played Cincinnati and Cleveland, we lost 1-2 each series, and we were 2-4 that week. We didn't hit well. Two runs and 2.33 runs that week. Last week we did not hit well when we went to San Diego and LA. 2.83 runs, but our pitching carried us. 2.33, 3.5 runs, allowing per game 3.11. Now this week you saw our pitching, particularly this weekend, not pitching as well as what we did with the Padres, and we allow 4.17 runs, which is above the 4 runs that I always tell you we need to be. But our hitting carry us. We scored 5.33 runs, which is the second highest we've had the entire year, and he felt that way. particularly in the series against the White Sox, where we hit significantly much better than we did before. We're 35-30. We're still below last year where we needed to be, both in terms of run scores and run allowed per week. But we're seeing significant signs, and Mattingly, as we said, has turned this team around. Let's look at some of the areas here, which I found interesting. This is kind of our record, 30-25. I made a mistake there. Total. I didn't update that. This was out of last week, but 10-16 is updated. 18-10 is what we did in May, and then we had 5-1 we've had so far. But the most important piece, and the totals are updated. I forgot to update the record, but the totals. Look at the runs per game, right? So we go from 389 to 388 to 4 runs now to 533. That should be in green. We're 10th in baseball right now. So we go from 27th total in the year to 388 runs in April. We were 26. In May, we were 22nd. And we're right now in June, after the first 6 days, we're 10th in baseball in terms of runs scored. Home runs, 8th, 14th, 6th, and then we go up to 10. We go to 3rd in baseball after the first 6 days, 6 games in June. Our average, you see the significant improvement. Look at our average, our own base percentage, and an OPS after the first 6 games. I mean, we have not hit this way. I mean, since the beginning. I mean, since the beginning of the year, we've not probably have this 6 games in a row hitting this way. So we see significant improvement in our hitting performance. You see our pitching. We have a 4.05 ERA, which is 16th in baseball. In April, where we're 25th. In May, we were 4th in baseball in ERA, particularly behind the starting pitchers. So far, we're 11th, are allowing 4.00 runs every 9 innings. So that is anything surprises you here, guys? I mean, the hitting is out of this world.
Yeah, I mean, that's the hitting overall is surprising. I do wonder how heavily those numbers are influenced by Brandon Marsh and the success he's had recently. Especially with batting average, leading the majors batting average, I think, right? Can't say enough about the job he's done, and it just seems like generally as a team the bats are waking up, and it's a great thing to see.
And the number that I like there, when you look at June of 26 this month, I like the 10 home runs, 3rd in baseball. If you hit home runs, you win baseball games. In a lot of ways, the Phillies are built to kind of supposedly hit the ball in the stands and sort of outslug their mistakes. And I like that number of 10 home runs in June. If the Phillies hit the ball over the fence, they're going to win a lot of ball games.
No doubt about it. And I like that one too. We replaced Taijuan Walker for Zach Wheeler. That is a big difference there. Zach,
yeah, I think it's a combination of both, honestly. Like, Don Mattingly firing Rob Thompson, hiring Don Mattingly, that sends a message to these guys. They wanted to keep Kevin Long. Well, they kept Kevin Long, but someone had to go. And Rob took the fall, in my opinion, for that. But look, yeah, Zach Wheeler, you basically replaced Taijuan Walker with Zach Wheeler. So, yeah, your pitching is going to be better.
Here are the numbers, guys. This is the career OPS. This is all OPS. Career OPS, the season OPS per player, their numbers in April, in May, and last week, which is basically the 6 games of June. And you see there March carrying this team in June, doing an outstanding job. You see the Alec Bohm doing a much better job hitting at 940 OPS. I mean, that he hit to right field today. I mean, that's Alec Bohm. That's the Alec Bohm that we are accustomed to seeing that can drive the ball. I love when he goes the other way. He was a machine a few years ago. Every time somebody was on base, he got the base hit between right and center field. He was a machine doing that all the time, and I love when he hits to right field. Garcia, is it real? Is it not real? I mean, I saw him chasing a little bit more. I mean, today in a couple of at-bats.
Yeah, he didn't have a good day. He didn't have a good day today.
Yeah,
I'll just say that.
He didn't, but 864 the last week. I mean, he had 3 home runs over the last few days. Hopefully he can keep it going. The team is going to need him in in Toronto.
You need somebody to step up and have season numbers that are better than their career numbers, right? If you're going to have a great season, if you're going to be a championship contender, you have to have guys who are pleasant surprises, who are doing something that they haven't done before. And Marsh is doing that.
Yeah.
And honestly, not really much of anybody else. Schwarber, the season numbers higher. So what? Two guys that have a season number that's better than their career number. That's just not going to work. So it's fantastic to see that last week column where some guys are really starting to step up. And if they're really going to do something this year and make some noise, they're going to have to keep doing this.
Yeah, I mean, look, Stott 6'11". I mean, for the season 642. He's not cutting it. I mean, that's a reality. And this, to me, this is his career year. He needs to have a strong finish for him to be able to be considered long-term for this team. I mean, he has this year and next year in contract. And the reality is Mundito is gone. I mean, he made a play today at second base. Oh, man, that was a beauty. I mean, that was a beauty. By the way, I love defense, man. I love Garcia in right field, man. The guy has a cannon.
You know what defense I would like? If Bryce Harper would let Bryson Stott field those balls that he's trying to get a double play on and just take the out.
Hey, he's trying to show his range. Sometimes you just want to let it go.
Look at his numbers playing defense at first base this year. Some people would be wowed.
But I mean, but to me, I mean, if you ask me, the two best defensive players we have on this team are Stott and Garcia. I mean, those guys are they are really, really good. Tyler, any thoughts from this? I mean, how you see the team, the hitting? I mean, do you trust it? I mean, what are your thoughts?
Yeah, honestly, it can't be as bad as it was in April and most of May. I mean, if you look at just the careers that most of these players have had, they have not been really cutting their weight outside of Schwarber, a little bit of Harper, and Marsh. And I know things have been getting better with Bohm and with Garcia, but they just need more production that's continuous. I mean, these guys have all performed at one point in their career. You bring up a good point about Stott. I mean, he's going into his last year next year, and he's going to get a big raise. And I mean, I know Bohm's going to be gone, but he could actually get non-tendered. I mean, he could, depending on how things go.
By the way, he's really good with runners in the scoring position.
Yeah.
The problem is we don't have enough runners. I mean, we're 29th in baseball. No. I mean, getting runners on base, but
it's the same thing. I think it's a little bit worse than normal, though. You know, he hits a ton of pop-ups, and sometimes he works great at bats, and sometimes he isn't. And before, you know, he used to always get into those deep counts, and even if he didn't get an out, at least he worked the count. So, I mean, most of these guys that are struggling, they've had the production in the past, you know, and it's good that we have some heating up, but I mean, they really can't be as bad as they were in April and most.
I feel like a lot of these guys are just going to have down years OPS wise compared to what they normally have. But like you said, Tyler, they're not as bad as they were. It's going to. The law of averages are going to creep up to what the back of their baseball card says.
Yeah, the only one on here that I'm really concerned about is Real Muto.
And he's
because, over. I mean, he very well could be over for his like large offensive production. But everyone else, I can still see it in there.
Yeah, Turner, look, I mean, it's like, hello, are you there? I mean, what's going on here? Mike, what are your thoughts on Trey Turner?
Yeah, Oscar, you hit it there. I look at this chart, right, and I see Trey Turner in the red, and I see the next 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 guys after him in the green. And I think for the Phillies to do what their fans want them to do, Trey Turner's going to have to get into the green. And again, you know, there was some positive signs today. The first inning double, hard hit ball in the 8th inning. He's hitting the ball harder in the air, which is positive. You know, a couple of home runs last week in San Diego. But again, I'm perplexed by Turner because, again, you know, he looks great one at bat, and then he's chasing, balls in the opposite batter's box in the next 2 at bats. And I think he has to straighten himself out. You can talk about Stott, you can talk about Realmuto, you can talk about Crawford, but we're paying Turner $300 million, and we're not paying him to be this Trey Turner. The Phillies need the Trey Turner, of last season at least, and he's a guy who's got to pick it up. And if he gets his numbers in the green with everybody else, then I think he got something. So to me, he's the key guy to this offense.
If you had a magic wand what will you do to this lineup? I mean, assuming you could make maybe a trade or something. I mean, think of it that we're in the middle of July and we're in the process of making. I mean, you're sitting down with Dave Dombrowski and you're going to make
Oscar knows my answer. Oscar knows my answer.
Yeah, that's why you're answering last year.
My first answer, my second answer, my third answer.
Yeah. What will you do? I mean, is it a contact hitter? Is it what type of a hitter would you like to see in this lineup, or hitters, by the way?
It can be a contact guy. It can be a power guy. I'd like it to be a right-handed guy, and this is something Dombrowski's tried and failed to do for years now. This search for the right-handed hitter that can be in the top half of the lineup and really back up these talented lefties. And, if he doesn't trade, maybe Turner can be that guy. We know he has the talent in him, has not shown it this year. Maybe Garcia can be that guy. I'm not confident that he can. And if they're not, Dombrowski has to succeed this time, has to find one and make it different than the previous years. He has to do better.
Yeah, it's the same to me. John, you hit it exactly on the head there. It's the same thing we talked about at the last two trade deadlines. Get me a corner outfielder, a right-handed corner outfielder who can hit the ball over the fence and get back cleanup for this team, basically. And if you get that guy, then you push everybody down in the order one spot. You push Bohm down a spot. You push Stott down a spot. Realmuto goes down a spot. The lineup gets long. But that right-handed power guy, I'm not sure if that guy exists. But since Oscar's giving me a magic wand, I'll conjure him up, and that's what this team. A corner outfielder that can back clean up, that can hit the ball in the stands. If they do that, they can win a World Series, I believe. But I don't know if that guy exists in baseball. Maybe that guy is Mike Trout. He's going to be here for the All-Star game. I know people are going to ask a lot of questions around Mike. Why is he still playing in Los Angeles? But he makes a ton of money. Is it even feasible to even think of a trade for a guy like that? But if you ask me, what's my number one list? It's a right-handed power bat that can play the corner out.
I cannot wait until the All-Star week when McGarry and I are standing there and he's gonna hug his boy Mike Trout. And he's gonna be. So why aren't you in a Phillies uniform yet?
No, what that all of baseball is kind of asking, and it's not just generic to the Phillies or germane to the Phillies. It's germane to the fact that the Angels are maybe the worst team in baseball. And why doesn't Trout want to get out of there and play for a team that can, make the playoffs or something like that? But
Colorado Rockies might have something to say about that, but we'll talk about that.
Who fits this profile is Mike Trout. It's Byron Buxton.
Right.
Someone needs to tell him that the Twins are not competing. They're years away. Waive that no trade clause and come.
That guy could change his entire team completely because you play him in center field.
And you can move Marsh. Marsh can be left field full time, and you can figure out right field.
He changes the entire complexion of this entire team. I mean, that guy. If there's one guy that could do it, and with regards to Trout, here's my recommendation. He can do like a Deion Sanders. He can play safety for the Eagles, and he can play center field for the Phillies, and then they split half of the salaries being played by the Eagles.
With his injury history, I do not want him playing for the Eagles.
No, the Eagles have Marcus Epps. They don't need Mike Trout, boys.
Come on, dude. He used to be a safety in college. Come on, dude. Give him a chance.
Mike Trout lasted one quarter in the NFL before getting injured.
All right, guys. By the way, these were my answers: right-handed bat, right-handed bat, right-handed bat. So you guys figured it out.
Yeah, we were in Phillies fastball on Friday and said right-handed bat, and Mike said, "No, give me the three right-handed bat. No, give me another one right-handed bat."
I mean, the way Aaron Nola and Andrew Bayer are pitching, Tariq Skubal sounds more of a reality now, but I still don't think that.
Here's kind of where this team is. We're 28th on OPS the entire season. The last 2 weeks, 22, and then we suddenly woke up this over the last 6 games to be 5th in baseball at 830 on OPS. And look, here's the beautiful chart that shows our lineup and where the OPSs are right now. I'll probably need to break this down by week, and I'll figure it out how to do it, or by month, so we could have much clarity how this is improving. But the reality is, I mean, you got to give it to Brandon March. He's had an incredible year. But I mean, we started so bad that in order to turn this into yellow is going to take, I mean, a Herculean effort. That's
feel
how
like
bad it is.
Fourth, fifth, and seventh shouldn't be that high, but Brandon Marsh made it that high.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
I mean,
that's a lot of red. That's a lot of red, but there is a glimmer of hope down in the bottom right.
Yeah.
We're
14th in OPS and OPS in ERA right now in baseball. We were 12th last week. Our starting pitching was 12 last week, and we went up to 16th because of the performance that we saw this weekend. So, and this includes the game today. And then our relief pitching have been very consistent over the last, as Jeff was saying, and we've seen some significant improvement there. So, I mean, Keller looks better. I mean, Duran has been lights out the entire year, and then Alvarado has some flashes of improvement. So,
but how about Bolin giving them 2 innings today?
Yeah, Bolin giving them 2 innings today. So, I mean, I'm hopeful that things will. Here's where relief pitching is. You see 130, 131 for Durant. He's 1 and 2. That's why there he isn't yet, but he's 15 for 15 in save opportunities. Keller, 2 and 1, 388, 358. He looks much better. And Alvarado was in the 6, and now he's at 564. And then, of course, Kerr has been outside of Durant the most consistent reliever we have in this entire bullpen. He's doing a great job. He was not striking out a lot of hitters, but he's doing a much better job now.
Now he is.
Now he is. I mean, he looks the part. I mean, I'm glad to see he continues to grow into a very, very good reliever, and he'll probably be the setup man, if not this year, next year. I mean, I think he'll overpass Keller at some point. So he's a great guy, and the remaining guys, I mean, they done their part. So anything on Banks? Have you seen improvement on Banks? I mean, what's your take on Bank in general? On Banks?
He looked a lot better in his outing yesterday, I believe, when he was throwing the 2 innings. But, yeah, I mean, he went through a stretch maybe of 6 or 7 or 8 games where almost every single time he came in, there was runners on base. He was giving up runs. I still think that Alvarado and Meza are above him on the depth chart now, but if he can turn himself into a 2-inning reliever and get some outs, I think for now that's fine.
What's crazy about Banks is you kind of have an out because he has an option. So like he technically could go down to the minors and figure it out, but they don't really need him to do that right now. Like you said, Doc, they just can preserve him.
Yeah, I thought yesterday he pitched well, and that's something for him to build on. The only thing that concerns about Banks is he was so good last year, and a lot of these relievers tend to blow hot and cold, right? They seem to be really, really good one year and kind of, not so good, or they kind of struggle the next year. So, Banks was tremendous last year. Maybe he's going to struggle a little bit this year, but I still think the way he pitched yesterday, the way he pitched last year, lefty, I still think he has a place on the team and can be an important, part as the Phillies go forward.
That's awesome. Let me put a couple comments here so we can talk him through. I mean, the first one is on Alec Bohm. He's a 275 here hitter over six seasons. That's who he is. I mean, there's no way to cut it. That's who he is, and we definitely are going to need more than that to be able to make. It'll be interesting. I mean, if Dombrowski decides to go after a third baseman, I mean, somebody like Paredes or somebody like that has more pop than him. It'll be very interesting. I got to give it to the guy. He's been playing a really good third base. Throughout the years.
Even when he was hitting like 160, he was saving runs with his defense. Like Alec Bohm, his struggles aren't for lack of trying. It's all up here.
Yeah, I mean, it's the reality.
And Oscar, I think he's batting 224 now. So if he's going to get to 275, he's going to have a great July, August, and September to get from 224 to 275. And that's what you're kind of hoping for. You hope these guys get to the back of the baseball card, because to get there, they're going to have to really have
look, like that. To add to your point, he's hitting 274 since May 1st, and that's just to get to 220.
Right.
Yeah, so I'm hoping he does it in the postseason, by the way. I hope he catches up in the postseason more than during the regular season. where we're going to truly need it. Tyler, any thoughts on this?
Yeah, I have the answer. It's Starling Marte. And I don't like that, but that's who.
No, I don't
that's
like
who
that
this
either.
year's
Oh
Austin
my
Hayes.
God.
Hey, I will tell anybody I think Austin Hayes worked if he didn't have the kidney thing.
Here's one of the guys that you will find his jersey and his bat. Raul Ibanez at the Foley's.
They need the
Phillies
first half
shop.
of Raul Ibanez in 2009. That's what they need.
Yeah, what's Ibanez up to? Maybe he's the answer.
Well, he wanted to be a manager, so I hear. Oh, by the way, guys, I gotta tell you a savage thing the Phillies did. If you get the yearbook, Rob Thompson's not in it.
Ooh.
The manager start the year is not in the yearbook. It's not.
I mean, it's like Mission Impossible, dude. It just disintegrates.
It's like, and I get the yearbook is printed later, and I understand that, but I've had every yearbook since like '97.
So
that's
it's
the
not
first
in
time
it
I
at all.
remember that.
Like no mention. He's just it's just
I gotta get the 22 yearbook out. I'm pretty sure Girardi's in it. I'm pretty sure.
San Francisco or Detroit? Detroit, interesting team. I mean, School will be coming back soon. It'll be interesting what they're going to do with School. By the way, I don't think he's coming to Philly, but
I don't either.
Yeah, I don't think so for a rental. I mean, we have two lefties already signed long term in Sanchez.
Do you really want to trade Gage Wood right now? You don't even.
And Painter. I mean, it's going to cost you. I mean, it's going to cost you big time arms. I mean, to be able to get a School. I mean, they're not going to give it. They're just sitting there and said, "You want to win the World Series? Come to me." I mean,
they need a bat if they're going to trade someone.
Yeah, it's gonna be interesting. So, look, what's the name of the third baseman of the of San Francisco?
Chapman.
He's not a great hitter, but he's a really, really good defender.
He's a really good fielder. Oh, he was a good hitter a couple years ago.
Yeah, he's a good player. I really like him. Yeah. I see him more in Boston or New York. I mean, New York, he would fit perfectly in New York. They don't have a true third baseman there. So with the Yankees, so that's where they fit more. Not anymore the Mets. The Mets are now in the basement.
Like the island. Mets are like the island of misfit toys. They got so many guys who aren't playing where they should be playing.
Here's where the Mets are. Sorry, Jeff. Here are where the Mets are. Look at where the Mets are after today. There, and they won the game today. So, or at least I left it. I assumed that they won, and I put the 29.
They did win it. They did win today. They took 2 or 3 from the Padres.
Yeah, they were winning 6-2. I mean, the Padres. I mean, they cannot hit.
By the way, Oscar, we can start moving those goalposts again because the Padres are close to getting under 500, and the Reds got the under 500. Yeah, so we can say, the Padres aren't any good.
Our 17 and 19 is not 17 and 19 anymore.
Yeah, exactly. It's gonna flip.
It's gonna flip. It's gonna flip very soon. This is what we are. Look, you got to hand it to the Braves. The Braves are not giving away the division. They're listen to this. In my opinion, the Atlanta Braves are the best team in baseball. I just
agree with that.
Yeah, I mean, you look at that run differential, 116 plus 116. The Phillies are still.
Yeah, it's June 7th. It's 6-7, and the Braves are this good. Like
there are a few. What is it called? A few base hits from our friend Alec Bohm to be able to catch up to that number. I mean, that's scary. I mean, that is scary.
When are the Phillies going to get a positive run differential? By the way, they've been in the negative all year.
All their wins. So even though they turn things around, their wins, except for today, have been by 1 run, maybe 2 runs.
When are we playing the Washington Nationals? That's my question.
But when is the next?
Yeah, but the Nationals, they still can hit.
They can hit, but that's true. They
do play the Marlins next week. So
almost 100. The Nationals have scored almost 100 more runs than the Phillies. It's just their pitching is so bad.
It's atrocious. I mean, they would kill for the Phillies pitching. Right?
It's honestly impressive for 500.
Yeah, I agree. I mean, but look, 5.4 runs, number 1 in baseball in runs scored.
Yeah, they're the best team in baseball.
I mean, they got some players. Just crazy. So, guys, here's kind of where the team is right now. I think we're very well positioned. I'll show Jeff Kerr favors line. Hey, Jeff, I'm sorry, dude. I'm sorry. The Phillies.
It's June 7th, and we're worried about the wild card.
Look at that. We're already in the wild card, Jeff. You don't have to worry anymore about it.
They were fourth in the wild card the other day. I was teasing people like, hey, look, they got the 7th best record in baseball. What are you all worried about?
Yeah, we don't have to worry about it anymore. Interesting. Look how close everybody is, right? The Marlins are 31 and 35 in 3.5 games. I mean, so look, anything could happen. You just got to continue. I mean, you look at the team and you know the Phillies are going to be in the postseason.
The Mets are only 5 back. Like, this is what people don't understand. If you're like a Marlins fan or a Mets fan, why would you sell right now? Like, everybody right now thinks they're buyers.
Yeah. No, the wild card expansion has done its job. You know, if the intent was to keep all these teams interested in thinking they have a chance, it's, mission accomplished.
I always remember Team Kelly's comment. If there's one thing that I've always remember about Team Kelly says the Rockies never trade. I mean, come on, guys. I mean, you're 24 and 42. I mean,
they don't trade. He's right. They don't.
It's crazy. I mean, it's crazy. What? They don't have any players. Nobody wants their players, or
they have Brett and Doyle. That's about it.
Yeah, it's crazy. Well, I like Ezequiel Tovar. I like their shortstop.
Yeah, I like him too.
Yeah, the Rockies might be the one team that's out of it. Out of those 15 teams in the National League, I feel pretty confident in saying the Rockies are the one team that's out of it, though. I think one thing to keep in mind, though, is think about the last 2 Junes we had. Last June of last season, the Mets were rolling along. The Mets looked like the best team in baseball.
Yeah,
then they fell apart over the second half of the season. Think about the year before that. That was when the Phillies went to London. Bryce Harper does the soccer slide. Boy, the Phillies looked unbeatable. They looked like they were headed for the World Series. They won the division that year, but they kind of obviously petered out in the playoffs. So, just like that, what's the saying? Like, past results do not guarantee future results or something like that.
Yeah, but you know what, Mike?
Do not guarantee future success.
Yeah, but you know what, Mike? You're right.
Tyler thinks otherwise. Right. He's saying, hey, if it's in the back of the card, I mean, the thing is proven, right, Tyler?
Yeah. But Mike, you're right. It was like around this time last year, the Phillies played the Mets in that 3-game series, and we're like, okay, the Mets and the Phillies are going to be in this thing the whole year. And after the Mets beat the Phillies at Citizens Bank, it just kind of, I don't know what happened to them.
Here are the projections, guys. I mean, according to FanGraph, 96 and 66, the Braves, the Phillies, 87 and 75, and the Mets, 80 and 82. 90.2% chance that the Braves win the division. We only get an 8.5% number. We're 9.5 games back. I mean, anything could happen, right? But we won't play them until what? September is when we play the Braves again.
Labor Day weekend is when they play the Braves again.
It's crazy.
But I don't know how they can calculate these percentages, but that seems about right. All those numbers seem about right.
Can I put Braves at like 99%?
I mean, to make the playoff, they're 99.1%. So it's and the Phillies are. I'm
pretty sure the Atlanta Braves are going to the playoff. And what John was saying earlier, like when the Phillies are 9-19, I'm like, maybe there's just going to be the Braves this year. Like it's just going to be a down year, and then they respawn in 2027 if there is one. But maybe not. That's
kind of we'll see. I want to just spend a couple minutes before we kind of close this on Christopher Sanchez. What this guy is doing is out of this world. 50.2 innings, 50 and 2/3 innings of a scoreless. I mean, beating a 115-year-old record. And look, this is him the last 2 years. Look at his work. He's the best pitcher in baseball, ahead of Skeens, ahead of Skubal, ahead of Wheeler. I mean, the guy is like out of this world. Tyler, any thoughts on Christopher Sanchez and from a historical perspective on what you've seen?
Yeah, I mean, he's still – I think this probably finally got him some recognition, but up until this scoreless streak, he was still one of the most underrated pitchers in the league. And I've been following the war with Sanchez and Skubal and Skeens, and they were all pretty much on track until recently. So it's pretty impressive when it comes to the overall. The scoreless inning streak, I mean, I don't think I ever would have thought anybody in the league would even get to above 40 again. So the fact that he even made it this far is just extremely impressive. And I know it's still early, but if he doesn't win the Cy Young, I'll be so disappointed.
Yeah,
do we think anybody's ever going to get the 50 again? Like, he's the first person since Hershiser to get the 50.
I mean, it's going to be very, very hard. I mean, and again, a lefty. On top of that, a lefty. So it's like, look, this guy is going to have this record for a while. I'm glad he's on our team, and he's doing an unbelievable and amazing job. And look, to me, witnessing both Christopher Sanchez and Wheeler, I'm a fan of pitching. When those two guys are pitching and they're fooling hitters, it's just special. And it starts with pinpoint control. I mean, look where Ramutos, whomever is catching him, put their mid. He puts the ball right there, man. The ability for him to have pinpoint control on the bottom of the strike zone is really, really special. And that's the difference between what he's capable of doing and what Painter is capable of doing today, which he cannot pinpoint his fastball. And until he can do it, he's not going to be effective. And that's the reality of it. Here's another slide. Mr. Rusky has been pitching lights out. I mean, I can't believe this guy throws how hard he throws. I mean, he has, I think, a record this year. How many pitches above 100? The guy's electric. I mean, without a doubt. Look at his stuff plus 126. Sanchez at 118. Sale is at 115, and Ohtani's at 115. By the way, Ohtani is still below an earned run as a ERA. So.
Honestly, if Sanchez would lose out to Mizorowski for the Cy Young, I won't be upset. If both these guys lose out to Ohtani, I will be upset because he is not pitching. He is not pitching what they are pitching. I'm sorry, he's not.
John, you're going to see the nasty email, the nasty press releases from Jeff there. I mean, it's like, what in the world is going on here?
If I had a vote, it wouldn't be for Ohtani.
Yeah.
I vote Ohtani for MVP, but I wouldn't vote for him for Cy Young.
And by the way, Ohtani is on a mission, right? Ohtani is on a mission to win the Cy Young. I mean, that's what his mission is this year. I mean, he's not hitting as well.
Well, then he better start pitching 7 innings.
Yeah.
He's going to have to catch up in innings. Because
anything from this, John, that you can react to?
Yeah, I mean, you just can't say enough about Christopher Sanchez. I mean, he's been incredible, and we talked earlier about guys who need to be good surprises and actually overperform what they did in the past. These past few years, that's what he's been for the Phillies. He's been the guy who's really stepped up and taken things to a whole new level, while all these other free agents come in and underperform what they've done in the past. Sanchez, is the guy who has elevated his game and done the exact opposite of that, and it's been incredible and just a joy to watch his development.
Here is for the Phillies organization, the players of the month. I mean, here are the guys: Griffin, Burkholder have done a tremendous job. Alex McFarland has been completely lights out. He's allowed 1 run in the entire year. And then Ramon Marquez, I don't know, between Tyler and Jeff, any thoughts on them? How you see this, guys?
I hope they don't trade Alex McFarland.
He's a tradable chip. I mean,
I know he is. That's what worries me.
Yeah.
He is, but he could end up being more valuable to the Phillies.
What was that?
He could just end up being more valuable to the Phillies.
I agree with Tyler on that. Look, they got to get him to AAA and have him pitch for that bigger ball, but I think they want to keep him down there because it's a trade chip. Oh, look what he's doing down in AA. Like, you're not fooling anybody, but the numbers are the numbers.
And Jeff, just talk for a second about last week, what you saw from Dave and meeting with the entire team. I mean, being in Reading for a number of weeks. And can you just give us your thoughts on that?
Yeah, so Dave Dombrowski was not in Reading just to see Gage Wood. He was there to see Brian Rincon. He was who was injured, but still wanted to talk to. There to see Dante Dori. There to see Arun Escobar. I mean, Reading's loaded. Heredia. He was there to see even guys like an Austin Murr, who was a Rule 5 pick for the minors. Like, he was looking at all these guys, McFarland, and it's a shame with Dante Nori. Hearing the news might not be good with Dante Nori right now. He may be out for a little bit, but we'll see what happens. I'll see what happens when the lineup comes out on Tuesday or what they decide to do on this day off. But look, there's a lot of trade chips in Reading. There's a lot of guys that can help this team. Not this year, but probably 2028 or so, some in 2027. They're trying to keep all these guys together in Reading for a reason, to have them grow together. And look, Reading's a very streaky team, but when they can hit, they might be the best hitting team in the Eastern League when everybody's clicking.
That Tenor is going to be the leadoff 2 years. The leadoff of the Phillies. The leadoff hitter of the Phillies. That guy can fly.
Yeah, he can.
He can fly. He can fly. I mean, the
so
manager of the
man,
Italian team saying he's never seen a guy run the way that guy runs.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
I think Racone can run too. Honestly, Oscar, I think Racone's like closer to moving up right now than any of them, just based on his experience and the way he's hitting.
Anything from this, Mike, from your perspective? I know you cover a lot of the minors and a lot of the high school guys.
Yeah, I think it's interesting the talent they have at Reading, and again, I kind of see it when I believe it when I see it, guy. When it comes to prospects, so I think the Phillies are a team built to win right now. So I wouldn't be surprised if around the trade deadline you saw a couple of these guys go for some players to try to put the current Phillies over the top. But it's good to see they have some talent in the system that they can be competitive and maybe go after, a Buxton from Minnesota or a guy like that to put the big league team over the top. And the other minor league news that happened this week was the Aiden Miller announcement. And that just causes some issues for the Phillies this year and going forward. I mean, I guess the conventional wisdom was that Aiden Miller was probably going to be the third baseman next year. And now that's kind of
it's a lost year. The way I look at it, this is a lost year. Is the bottom line. I mean, we lost a year.
That's an unfortunate situation. Yeah.
It was so weird too that week Dombrowski was at Reading. You were hearing the rumblings that this whole procedure might be a possibility, but they weren't ready to go there yet, and they ended up doing it. It happened Friday. Mike, you weren't there Saturday, right? Did Don ever ask like how it went? Was he ever?
No,
asked?
I think I wasn't there, but I know on Friday that Dave met with the reporters and kind of discussed the situation and said they expect this to take care of the back issues. And, they kind of didn't rule him out for playing this year, but they didn't exactly rule him in.
They say 6 to 8 weeks. They say 6 to 8 weeks, and I was here in August at the time, so we'll see.
Right.
I mean, 5 weeks from the All-Star game, just FYI.
It feels counterintuitive, but in some ways, I think it's encouraging. I think it's encouraging that there actually was a procedure that might fix the issue, because a lot of times these back issues, it's they're just kind of dragging out and hoping and wishing that it gets better. The fact that they actually went in and did something that can change it and maybe fix it going forward is, I don't know, to me again counterintuitive, but kind of a good thing.
I just wanted to spend a couple of minutes, guys, and just talk about what John have built, and it's something really, really special. It's the Phillies Sports Shop. It's called Foley's. It's on 22nd and South in South Philly. It is a very special place. I have been there a number of times.
Who owns that shop?
Who owns that shop? And look, John has always been a part of a family. I mean, he's a really, really special guy. I've gone there. Believe it or not, I live very, very close to a store. Closer. I mean, it's like, for me, I've been there a number of times, at least 3-4 times already since it opened. And it is a very, very special place. You find things like bat from Mike Schmidt. And the other thing, he's activating it now. I mean, you have this baseball from Utley, and you can see some of the great things he has, some very, very specials on that day. By the way, he's never giving me anything for doing this, but I love this guy. I love what he's doing. One of the things about both, and I'll give it, and I know Mike and Jeff would understand this, what John and Tyler do, what they do is they give their heart out to you guys, to everyone that is watching this. They give their heart out every day because they love this team. I mean, they don't make any money promoting the Phillies or sending a lot of the things on the Phillies, but both what John and Tyler does is something to me very, very special because they're passionate about what they do, passionate. And then one of the beauties of this is John have brought it up and built it in a store. and what you will find in there is something very, very special. I mean, I don't know, John, you want to talk about some of the special guests? You got the UK in the house this week too.
No, I can't thank you enough for the kind words, Oscar. It's really been a lot of fun so far. We had Aaron Bracey in here today. You see Dave, aka UK Phils, was here during this trip.
Yeah, he's been here all week, right?
Yeah. I think he just.
And he's the coolest guy. I mean, I spent time with him in the field, and last time he was here, he's among the coolest guys there is. I mean, we love this guy. And look, you gotta love the passion of the Phillies fan and what they bring to it, and you see everything brought to you through life at Foley's, the Phillies Sports Shop.
Yeah, I think that's what we're all about. Just all the passion of the fans of Philadelphia. I think that the heart that the fans have, that's what we're all about, and just celebrating that, whether it's via art or t-shirts designed by our local artists, or the huge collection of memorabilia we have. I
bought a sign that says Broad Street, and it has a belt in it. I love it, man. That thing is beautiful.
Yeah, it's good stuff. It's good stuff. It has handcrafted wooden sign, Broad Street sign from somebody right here in South Philly, and it's really been a lot of fun.
And he's right there in the store. Hey, go up a little bit. Let's see what the shirt. I mean, I love the logo, man. Look at that. Look at that.
I do love that logo.
I love the logo. It's everything. It's Philly. It's Sixers. It's Eagles. I mean, Flyers. You name it, you'll find it at Foley's.
He's even got the Union in there. Look at that. He's got all five.
We got a little Union. We got a little splash of Union in there too. And like you mentioned, Father's Day coming up. So you want to come on out, you can get that. Whether your dad's favorite player was Mike Schmidt or Johnny Callison or whoever, we've got a piece of memorabilia for him. If that's a little bit too pricey, or maybe your dad's not that great, you get him a T-shirt or you give him a bottle opener. We got things.
Your dad's not that great.
Out here at Foley's, 22nd and South. I appreciate the time for the.
Hey, come on, dude, come on! It's La Familia, right, Tyler? La Familia, man. It's Tyler. Anything going on in your world that is fun? Phillies that you're. I mean, you're always planning something new, dude.
Yeah, I mean, not really. I'm just. I'm just riding the wave. It's been an emotional season, but nothing specific. We'll see what happens.
Oh, hey, Mike, it's an emotional season, man. It's an emotional season. I mean, this team is crazy, man. It just drives you nuts. So, hey, both support Phil Stelgate with Tyler, as well as John and his beautiful store. I mean, go make a purchase. I mean, we're gonna support each other, and I just wanted to take the time because I truly, truly love what you guys do. Mike, I love what you do too, man. Both Jeff and I, we truly appreciate you, everything that you do for the Phils, and bringing bringing it the way you see it, and bringing the real news there, man. Anything, where can we follow you on social media?
Yeah, you can find my stuff at pressivac.com. You can check it out there. Appreciate the kind words, and John's store looks spectacular there, and apropos with Father's Day coming up, I wish when my kids were younger there was a store like that they could have ran to and gotten me, instead of a tie and socks, I could be getting a Johnny Callison memento there or something like that. So that would have been great to see. But pressivac.com. Yeah, people stop by the website and check out the stories that I do. Really appreciate that. And it's great being with you guys tonight.
Awesome, man. Thank you so much, Mike.
Thank you, Mike.
Thank you so much. Tyler, where can we follow you and all the magic you're doing, man? Bringing it every single day.
Yeah, just at Phil's Tailgate, and thanks for all the support. I appreciate it.
Thank you so much, brother. Thank you so much. John, what can we say, man? You're at the store. You stay there. I was supposed to be there. I promised him that we're going to do it, but I had to fly down to Florida for work. So, I mean, unfortunately, I cannot be there with you. But I promised John that I will be back at the store as soon as I get back to Philly. So
I know you'll be back because your dry cleaners is right here across the street.
Don't tell the people that, man. Don't tell the people that. By the way, I got today because I couldn't be at the stadium the other day where the bubblehead for Christopher Sanchez. I bought today from FoliesOnSouth.com. I bought the
right. That's the last one.
That's the latest one, the Christopher Sanchez bobblehead.
John, you didn't get the Johan Duran card show bobbleheads that they're selling on eBay for like $100.
Come on. By the way, Jeff told me he was going to give me a Christopher Sanchez bobblehead. He didn't.
Well, you never gave me the ticket. That's your own fault. I do have one here. It's in the back.
No, awesome, guys. Truly appreciate everything you do. You're all part of a great family, and we love everything what everybody does, and we look forward to bringing you more great stuff. I mean, both Tyler and John. Tyler will be with us next week with hopefully Tim Kelly decides to show up. He told us he would. He's the best. Follow him as well as Don Patterson. Again, we're all part of a big family. We love the Phils, and we want them to make it to the World Series. So on behalf of Mike, John, Tyler, and Jeff, thank you guys for everything you do. And we will look forward to see you next week, next Sunday at 8 p.m. Here for another episode of Phillies Weekly. Have a wonderful week, and God bless, guys. Take care.
Lanzamiento, aquí viene un batazo de Mundito entre right center field, la bola pica, se extiende, viene anotando Stott, empata el juego, también manda para la bola Turner anota y los Phillies se van arriba. Se prepara, Mundito en segunda, el lanzamiento, batazo profundo para el center field, la bola se va, Schwarber Bob, ¡campanazo! Aquí viene el lanzamiento. Swing y